I watched a New Jersey Democratic candidate forum so that you didn't have to, and after 2 hours, I can confidently say that the biggest winner was Andy Kim and the biggest loser was Mikie Sherrill. Let's talk about it. You might be looking at this saying, Kristen, Andy Kim's not even in this picture. How could he have possibly been the biggest winner? Don't worry, I'll explain. Just so you have some context, this was a progressive forum put on by a whole group of progressive organizations. 4 of the 6 Democrats currently running for governor were there. Josh Gottheimer and Steve Sweeney were not there, and I do not know if they declined an invitation or if they just were not invited. So if you do know, let us know. The last 10 minutes of this candidate forum is where everything kind of popped off. But before we get there, let me give you a very quick rundown of everything else. I'm going to summarize 2 hours worth of material into 1 minute. So if you want me to expand on anything, just let me know in the comments and I can make another video. Okay, I thought the questions were kind of softballs and all 4 of them just gave their normal talking points. So Ras Baraka, current mayor of Newark, he pitches himself as the most progressive, which he probably is, and all of the good things he has done for the city of Newark. Mayor Steven Fulop, current mayor of Jersey City, he pitches himself as the anti-establishment, anti-machine candidate, and also all the good things he's done for Jersey City. Mikie Sherrill, current Congresswoman, she pitches herself as a mother and a veteran and really leaned heavily on her congressional record for the things that she's done for local small New Jersey communities. And then you have Sean Spiller, current president of NJEA. He leans really heavily on being a labor leader, a mayor, and an immigrant. I think Mikie Sherrill was the biggest loser here because this wasn't necessarily her crowd. I think out of the 4 of them, she is the least progressive. I think she's more progressive than Gottheimer and Sweeney, but they weren't there. She had to answer for accepting money from SpaceX, among other things. She was very excited to get to name her own AG, whereas Fulop and Baraka both kind of said that the AG should not be a political appointment. It should be an elected position. There were some other things too. I just don't think she came off really great. There was also a weird interaction where they were all had to do thumb up, thumb down to answer questions, and she said, I don't do thumbs up or down. Anyway, the last 10 minutes is where things popped off. They were giving their closing statements. Ras Baraka gets up, gives his statement, no issue. Fulop gets up to give his statement and is almost immediately interrupted by a protester who I believe was pro-Palestinian, but it was very hard to hear. This is where our boy Andy really shined. He stepped in, he interacted with the protester like a person, he de-escalated the situation, and he said, ma'am, I will talk to you one-on-one after this. Let's just let the candidates finish. And then Mikie Sherrill gets up and also gets interrupted by a protester. This time it was a trans youth who was upset with her vote on a defense bill that stripped away funding for trans youth healthcare. But Andy Kim was, I believe, talking to that person off camera and trying to again de-escalate on that one-on-one interaction. Then Sean Spiller gets up, he gives his no issues. After that, though, there's a now 3rd protester who's shouting, I believe, also pro-Palestinian, and Andy Kim again de-escalates it and then goes on to just give like the most heartwarming speech about how this is the time where we all need to band together. He said these are dangerous times, but that makes it even more important that we step up and start working together. And he said the fact that everyone in the room showed up here today is great, but what are we going to do tomorrow? What are we going to do next week? How are we going to come up with a plan to save democracy? That last 10 minutes really showed why Andy is everybody's favorite progressive in the state of New Jersey. He just knows how to talk to people. He knows how to interact, and he really does embody all of our progressive values. So that's why he was the biggest winner. This is already way too long, but I have pages and pages of notes. So if you want me to go more in depth about any individual candidate or any individual issue, please let me know.